Food, Fisheries and Water Resources Management, Dr. David Eswick. Now, he was responding to calls for him to resign from his ministry after months of water woes in rural areas across the island boiled over on Wednesday with protests at the Water Authority's headquarters. Speaking to the media today, Minister Eswick says his ministry is struggling to deal with the large-scale upgrading of a century-old water distribution system, along with record low rainfall. In addition, he says a number of plans are continuing, including the laying of mains and the construction of desalination plants across the island.
Understand the science, the issues as they are, and guide your charges appropriately, not rile them up because they have an issue. There's a national issue that we are trying to resolve in the best way that we can. So that's why I'm saying it is foolhardy to attempt to bring a water crisis and make it a political target as though somebody selectively pinpointing somebody and saying, to turn off the water. That is absolute horse doodle rubbish.
Disaster struck in Britain's Hill today when a house caved in. Our Shane Jones was on the scene.
Just after 2 this afternoon, this two-bedroom house occupied by Maureen Scantlebury and Trevor Downs collapsed into the road here in Seaman's Village. While the elderly Scantlebury was too shaken up to speak on camera, companion Downs, who was assisting in the cleanup process, said they had been pleading for assistance for quite a while.
I didn't feel so pleased. This was a long time we did ask for help and I didn't get none. I'm feeling so pleased.
So what's next for you right now?
I'm trying to get these things and get some place to stay. I'm trying to tell my sister and I get hold of her after and I will try. I will see what happening from here with this organization that coming down here now.
Well, according to St. Michael's South Constituency Chairman Henderson Marshall, help is on the way.
What he did was try to get hold of people from urban personnel so that we would get somewhere for her to get these things that are here somewhere proper. Because you know you can't leave them to the elements for the night. What we did was to get someone here from urban, 2 officers from urban, who has located the bobcat, which removed the things as you see from the road, and there's where we are at now.
Senator Dr. David Durant was one of the first on the scene.
I notified the various authorities, welfare and my own National Assistance Board and others, the electrical company, fire service and so forth. And then I began making preparations for accommodation for them tonight and over the weekend. And then next week, a more long-term accommodation. So I immediately have that in place already, so they will be somewhere tonight for this weekend. And by Monday, I will remove them to another more long-term accommodation where they will have furniture and clothing and food and so forth to sustain them over a period of time while we get urban to look at this and then see where we go from here in getting this house repaired. Not the house repaired, getting a new house, a new building put here, you know, so that they can be accommodated.
Shane Jones, CBC News.
The biggest challenges facing the local economy is the fiscal deficit. Central Bank Governor Dr. Dilal Worrell says it's a situation which needs to be urgently addressed. The governor was speaking during a live economic discussion forum at the central bank last night.
We are in a situation where our expenditures are still higher than can be sustained by our tax revenue. And that has to be fixed. We also have a productivity challenge that for many reasons our levels of productivity have not increased over the last 20 years, but our wages have. And that opens up a gap which we have got to close because we are in a competitive world.
Well, despite the challenges, Dr. Worrell says the economy has been growing. He says the growth is attributed to the foreign exchange earning sectors, of which brand Barbados remains strong.
We have a strong international brand in tourism, and we have been improving on that. We have a strong international brand in international business and financial services, well-regulated, good network of double taxation treaties, and other things that make our reputation, that preserve our reputation. Our rum industry has developed the value-added product where, the value is added in Barbados on a finished product, branded product is exported. And we have tremendous potential looking a little further down the road in terms of green energy.
Meantime, the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry is on board with efforts to stabilize the economy. Executive Director Lisa Gale says the private sector is committed to working with government, the central bank and the experts to deal with the challenges. She says while several issues remain, there are some bright sparks in several industries.
Let's talk about construction, let us talk about international business, tourism. My colleague Joel just mentioned manufacturing, particularly rum, but there are some other small industries we call cottage industries falling within the small business sector that we are now putting our eyes on.
Mrs. Gale says there is also a need for the social partnership to be re-examined. The government has been working in collaboration with its social partners to transform the economy. Minister of Labour, Senator Dr. Esther Bayasuku says the economy is being transformed to attract investment. Citing tourism as an example, she listed some of the successes.
We have over the years attracted many hotel chains and like Marriott and Hilton and others. And more recently, we have successfully garnered the interest of other developers, and consequently there are new hotel developments with construction certainly for the Wyndham Hotel, which is the Sam Lord's Castle site in St. Philip. That one is underway, and we're expecting the construction of the Hyatt-centric Carlisle Bay Hotel at Lower Bay Street. And indeed, there are others in the pipeline which I am not at liberty to reveal at this point.
Another Barbadian man has joined the growing Centenarian Club. With Stanley Holdit was the toast of the day as family, friends and well-wishers gathered at his Dash Valley St. George home to celebrate the milestone. He also received a visit from Governor General Sir Elliot Belgrave. Mr. Holdit, a former laborer at Staple Grove Plantation, is the father of 2 children. One predeceased him. Mr. Holdit says he felt happy and thanked God for helping him to live to see 100 years old. He even joked with the Governor General about his age. His daughter, while reminiscing on her youth, says her father was a family man. Well, stay with us. We'll have more news right after the break.
Don't let your data experience slow you down. Step up to Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network, more than twice as fast as the slow network. Get more with Digicel. Digicel, the fastest 4G network in Barbados. Dial *153 to sign up to Digicel today.
Winning a fabulous Miami shopping spree is in the cards. Use any Scotiabank credit card for all your everyday shopping, dining out, and more. You'll earn chances to win a trip for 2 to Miami, including round-trip airfare and $1,000 in cash. The more you use your card, the more chances to win. So pay with any Scotiabank credit card today. Need a card? Apply now to get a welcome bonus, plus more chances to win. Contest ends September 30th. Conditions apply.
This September is Baikon's 115th birthday. Celebrate with us and enjoy delicious choc ice at half price. That's only $1.50 VAT inclusive all month long. Available from participating outlets island-wide, Baiko Mobiles and the Baiko Direct outlet on Harbour Road.
Something special starts with a Scotia Plan loan. Like a family vacation. Or sending the kids off to university. Or trading in your old wheels for new ones. A Scotia Plan loan from Scotiabank is the ideal plan for anything you want to make happen. Choose the amount you need and the repayment terms that suit you best. Apply before September 15th at your nearest branch for special loan rates. Something special starts with a Scotia Plan loan. Conditions apply.
Amidst concerns about increasing violence in many of the impoverished communities across the island, one youth program continues to stand out. It's the Youth in Agriculture program, which is currently in its 9th phase of operation. Advisor on Poverty Eradication and Millennium Development Goals, Undine Whitaker, who heads that program, says they've been able to retain a number of young people and have added 8 more this time around. Despite the stigma attached to careers in agriculture, it's getting the interest of many of the island's young people.
We know that there are young people in SJPP as well, and the community college who have an interest in and intend to further their studies in agriculture. Several of the young people here have the interest as well. They're working towards their qualifications through the CVQs and NVQs, and when they complete those, they would want to carry it further. So there is still hope. There is hope for the young people.
And as part of this year's program, Ms. Whitaker says there are a number of scientific and technological improvements aimed at keeping participants up to date with modern agricultural practices.
We now have a drip system to be installed. We have had the nursery where we had our plants being watered through the calibration of water based on the time frame and the amount of water that the plant should have in the germination house, which we call the seed house. And we know that if we provide them with the skills and knowledge that they require, that they will see how important it is, and they will understand and learn the skills needed to produce on a much larger scale.
And a few of the participants took time out to tell us how they are enjoying the program.
I will fry up maids, I will go and see the pigs, and I spend my money if I can feed them, I feed the rabbits. I want to be a farmer or a soldier.
It's a good opportunity for the youth that apparently they will say that ain't really good with school, that only good with the practical part. You can come on here and learn a lot about the sheep, rabbit, or the plant, and stuff like that. It's a good program for the young people.
This also is a very good idea. I learn a lot about rabbit, sheep, plant and stuff, and different things like that. So also is a good program, man.
The Erdeston Teachers Training College has been commended for introducing a new degree program. The Bachelor of Education for Primary and the Vocational Teachers Training in Adult Education was officially launched last evening. The program is designed to meet the needs of instructors and technical institutions. It aims to broaden the perspective of the instructor and seeks to address local problems facing vocational education. Acting Minister of Education, Senator Harry Husbands, says the program will stimulate the development of the instructors' understanding of their main subject area.
There is a consistent, not well publicized, but a consistent program in Barbados to restructure education in its entirety. And this program this evening, and the program that you are part of, is but a part of this. At Erdeston, it takes the form of program restructuring, new programs, and so on and so forth. It also takes the form of the physical redevelopment of this institution.
Well, making new friends might be the biggest worry for new secondary school students. But the National Council of Substance Abuse has another concern, and they have been preparing students during the summer for what may be their first encounter with drugs or deviant behavior. Denise Blackman tells us more.
Yeah, beware of drugs. They're dangerous, beware of drugs.
It certainly looks like a lot of fun, but the NCSA promises that what these children are learning at Project SOFT are lessons that will last them for life. As Community Project Officer and Camp Director Makita Bourne explains, SOFT stands for Safeguarding Our Future Today, and it's been going on for 14 years. The first phase is a residential camp lasting 1 week aimed at steering children away from drugs while encouraging them to adopt positive behavior and self-confidence.
Getting them to examine themselves, that they will love themselves more, because research definitely shows that persons with low self-esteem, persons that are easily influenced by their peers for negative behaviors, persons that do not understand alternative activities they can do to release stress, they normally say that is why they choose to get into drugs.
Phase 2 of Project SOFT begins when the children enter secondary school. The NCSA monitors them for 3 years and helps with that transition. And the third phase is a family support group, which targets parents. Drug Education Officer Brian Bumba Payne praised the program for being holistic.
All programs, whether in the secondary, primary, or community, NCSS programs are broad, mainly because we understand that social problems, including drug abuse, have many possible causes.
Project SOFT works with many entities, including the Child Care Board and the police force, for the benefit of their charges. Constable Rashid Drakes noted the impact he has personally witnessed during his 6 years with the program.
I have seen persons, after Project SOFT came to me and said, Uncle Rashid, do you remember me from Project SOFT? Yeah, I'm doing really well at school. I go to my teacher and being bullied, however the case might be. Despite the fact that Project SOFT is hosted by the NCSA, it does not only focus on drug-related issues. It also focuses on peer pressure, conflict resolution, self-esteem.
And they say parents are more than pleased with the success of the project. Denise Blackman, CBC News.
And in this, our 50th anniversary of independence, CBC is connecting with Barbadians in the diaspora to highlight achievements in both their personal and professional lives. Artisha Hines is in New York, where she covered the Labor Day celebrations, and she's now talking to some Barbadians living there. Good evening, Tisha.
Hi there, Lisa. Good evening, Barbados.
What have you been finding out?
All right, well, we've been all over, and the fantastic thing about being here, especially in the New York area, is there are a lot of Barbadians in this area. And when I say Barbadians, I mean Caribbean people generally, because we have so many connections in the region. Sometimes it's difficult to say where Barbadian ends and where another nationality begins. So we really have been connecting with Barbadians from all walks of life in every area of business that you can think about. And this is all in working toward a documentary series that we'll be presenting to Barbados on CBC TV 8 coming up on Independence Day. But I want to introduce you to a gentleman who is the Secretary Treasurer of the Transport Workers Union here in New York City. It's the largest transportation union in the U.S., representing some 50,000 workers. And the Barbadian also serves as a trustee on the board of the New York City Employee Retirement Program, which monitors and manages assets of over $137 billion. If that's not all, he's also board member of the largest food pantries in Brooklyn that provides basic staples of well-balanced diet for over 12,000 single mothers, senior citizens, and disabled people every day. It's the gentleman that we caught up with on Eastern Parkway.
I leave Barbados in 1987, and I haven't forgotten my country. No, my country haven't forgotten about me. So as long as I'm in this country, this beautiful country, this powerful country, I will continue to do my best to uplift my country, and it seems that my country intends to uplift me always.
And of course, the celebrations continue. We also came across a guy by the name of Roderick Burnett. He's an ex-Marine who represented Barbados as a teen, but these days he is busy celebrating Barbadian artists with a big show called Icons that came off last weekend. And we also have some other things coming up that we're going to tell you all about.
I went to school at Courage and Parry. I left there and at age 16 and came to New York. And when I came here, I joined the military. I joined the Marines, and I did 8 years in the Marines for the Special Forces. During that time, I was also playing basketball, college level and stuff, and I came back home and played for the Barbados national team. We went to El Salvador and played there. I also played basketball in Tokyo. I played basketball in Jakarta, Surabaya, Pontianak, Bali. I toured the world.
So what has brought us to this place where you're promoting Barbadian artists at this level?
Well, this is Brooklyn. I've been doing this show now for the past 4 years, but I'm doing the Labor Day Saturday now since 2007. I've held it down for a while. And sad to say, it's probably going to be the last one I'm doing because, you know, I got other things I'm doing and trying to pass the torch on somebody else.
So there have been a lot of events that have come off, including tonight. You know, there are loads of associations here that keep flying the Barbadian flag. And in this, our 50th year, even more celebrations are happening. As a matter of fact, we're getting ready to go cover a back-to-school fete being put on by the Ellerslie Old Scholars Association here in New York City.
And I know you'll be on your best behavior, Tisha.
Absolutely, that's how it goes. But we're going to continue to tell you all about the accomplishments of Barbadians here in the city. It's an exciting time for them, and loads of Barbadians are going to be coming home this November. I can tell you that, as a matter of fact, a gentleman told us today he thinks that the island might sink, the amount of people who are planning to come home. Let's hope that doesn't happen, but it's going to be a fantastic time.
Well, Tisha, thanks so much for joining us, and we're looking forward to seeing that documentary when you come home. Well, still to come, a look at some of the stories making headlines from across our region.